Morning everybody, welcome back to 90 Degree Angler, where fishing is always right. Nice to see everybody again. We are coming to you today from Silverwood Lake here up in Hesperia. We haven't done a video on this lake yet, but it's a lake I like fishing. Our target today is striper, so we are going to be trolling. We're going to be doing our two main methods of trolling the fly on the fly core, and we'll talk a little bit about what fly core is if you haven't seen any of my fly core videos before. And we're going to be trolling another lead core or my A-rig on the Downrigger, depending on what they're biting on. So we got a couple things to try. It is this January, actually it's February 2nd, so a little bit warmer than it's been. So we're hoping that you know, fishing's picked up a little bit with a couple warm days and lack of wind, because we've had some really bad wind lately here too. So looks nice. There's nobody out here on this side of the lake, so I'm gonna get everything geared up and we're gonna get going. So let's see how we do. But we're on. All right, so first bite of the day is on the Downrigger with the A-rig on it. We weren't that deep. We were only set at about 25 feet. So let's see what comes up. Oh yeah, there's a fish on there, but hopefully that's not getting into my lead. Nice head shakes. This could be a nice fish, man. There it is at the surface. Might be foul hooked. Hard to tell. Yeah, I think he's foul hooked. Coming in sideways. Let's get this out of the way. Is that a largie? Oh, it's a striper. A nice striper too. All right. All right. So I would say that's an epic start to the morning on our first pass, catching a biggin. He's a biggin. So let's see what we got here. Did you get one in the belly? Look at the fatness on that striper, man. He is so fat. And he hammered it. He took that hook through the eye. So he wanted it. It's a good eating size striper right there. Ugh. What is he doing? There we go. Look at the belly on that thing. Look at the belly. Look at that belly. But there's one. We're gonna let it go into the live weight right now. All right, so first fish of the day is caught on the old Alabama rig. So this is what we're fishing with. Okay, so we got some 3-inch Kitex up at the top and some 4-inch Kitex on the 3 hooks. So we got 2 hooks on the bottom. This one hooked the bottom hook here. And then we got the trailer hook as well. This thing is always opening. I don't know why it's always opening, but it kind of pisses me off. It's an easy way to lose a fish. So just pinch that closed a little bit. Make sure the rest of them are closed up. So if you guys aren't familiar with what downriggers are, this is what we're looking at here, okay? So this is an 8-pound lead weight with a clip on it. And I got a line counter here. And so what we're gonna do, I don't like to cast these out. Sometimes they'll foul up and I'm gonna be trolling. So I don't want it to foul on my cast and not know about it. So I let the line out nice and slowly. I'm only gonna be fishing in like 40 to 60 feet of water generally. Now the deeper water that you run, the shorter your setback. So a setback is how far away from the downrigger ball you have your line. And if you're fishing really shallow, you want a long setback to get that bait as far away from the boat as possible. But the deeper you fish, the further away your boat is anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. But we're gonna be fishing kind of a mid-level depth, so I like to let out a good amount of line, you know, 70, 80 feet behind the boat. It's just kind of my personal preference on that. I probably don't have to let that much line out, but that's kind of where I like to be. And obviously you saw it just caught us a fish already, so. I'll let some more line out here. All right, that's about enough line to let out. So now, hopefully this all shows up on the chest cam for us. So, what we do is we head over to the downrigger ball. All right, so we're grabbing our clip here. We're putting our line into the clip. So you see how I got the line in the clip there? All right, you want to make sure this tension stays on there because you don't want that clip to flip over at all. Put your line in free spool, and then we're going to drop the downrigger back down to 25 feet. So I have a little counter on there that says, okay, I'm at 25 feet. We put it in place. We're going to lock our bail in place, all right? And then the rod tip, you crank down. You want a lot of pressure on that rod tip so that it's nice and tight. So if you saw, the ball has the clip about this far away from it. And when we tie it down that tightly, the clip comes up like this. So the ball's here, the clip's riding up here because of the tension of the rod. When that fish bites, he's gonna pull that clip down, right? And that's how you're gonna see your rod tip start to dip down and know you got a bite. So that's why you wanna keep a nice amount of tension on that rod, a nice bend in it, so that you can see when that fish bites. The second method here is what I call, or what is called, fly core. So on this rod, I have lead core line and I have a fly. The lead core is also letting me get down to a certain depth. I have this one actually set to 40 feet. So this one's fishing at like 25, but with the A-rig, it's probably fishing a little bit closer to 30. And then this one, I'm fishing a little deeper at 40. You know, just dragging a fly behind you doesn't have a lot of action on it. So you just got this white fly, it's kind of sitting there, and I'll show you the fly in just a second. But what we're doing is we're stripping the line. You can see me pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, right? So as we strip that line, we're creating action, right? That fly is darting like a bait fish. It's boom, 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 moving around down there in the water. And that a lot of times will trigger a bite from a striper. They're a very predatory fish. And even if they're not chasing bait, when that bait darts away from it like that, a lot of times they think they're chasing it. It makes them think they're chasing it, and they'll grab it anyway. So that's why we strip that line. And again, with lead core, I know exactly how deep I'm trolling, so I can target fish at specific depths in the water column with the lead. So that's what we're doing. The A-rig obviously worked really quickly this morning. I'm gonna get back into that spot we were fishing here in just a second. And generally, I like to run my striper troll around 2 miles an hour. 2 miles an hour is the perfect speed for fishing lead core because you know exactly how deep you are. The line's broken into colors, and every color that you have in the water sinks 5 feet if you're trolling at 2 miles an hour, all right? So if I have 6 colors in the water, 6 times 5 is 30. I know I'm fishing 30 feet, and I can be pretty darn accurate with that depth with my speed, right? If I'm trolling a little bit slower than 2 miles an hour, I'm gonna be a little bit lower. If I'm trolling faster, I'm gonna be a little higher. But I can be pretty accurate as to the depth that I'm targeting with the lead core. So that's one of the advantages of having a boat, right? I know, I feel like I might be hung up in my other line. I feel like a lot of people don't have a boat. They aren't as blessed as I am to have something like this and all this gear out here. But if you do, you know, it's a really different method to catch fish in a presentation that they don't see very often, right? And I know some guys fish the flies out here, but not very many. So these striper haven't seen the flies. And, you know, most guys just cast A-rigs, to be honest, or troll them on the surface. So getting that A-rig with all that flash and all that bait, looking school of fish down there deep where those fish are hanging out, really can generate a lot of bites, especially on a lake like this where there are a lot of stripers. Oh, there's a fish. All right. Got one on the fly. Okay, so when you catch a fish on the fly, you have a lot of line out, especially at 40 feet. That's 8 colors that you're dragging through the water. So you got a lot of reeling to do. So what I'll generally do, slow the boat down and turn out to deeper water. And if you guys can see that rod tip, you want to keep that rod tip bent, all right, at all times, because that fish is always going to try to get loose. And rather than, you know, normal fishing line, this lead weighs a lot. So you want to keep as much tension on that as you can to keep that fish pinned and that hook in its mouth. When it gets close to the boat, if it's a larger size fish, generally it's going to make a run to the bottom. This doesn't look like a larger size fish. So none of this is even going to matter. So let's just reel this little guy in. Might even be a largemouth, actually. I think it's a little largy. It is a little largy. What is he doing? Little largy. So those little guys we saw on the bottom are tiny largemouths. Look at that. Eating something as big as he was. You okay to go back down, bud? Or I need to fizz you? He's good, he's swimming away. All right, so next opportunity. So this is what a fly looks like after a fish has beat the crap out of it, right? So what's going to happen here is these hairs are going to get all tangled up around your hook, right? And a lot of times if they're tangled up, they will actually prevent the hook from penetrating the fish's mouth. So it is very, very important that you straighten this out, okay? After every fish, and generally, to be very honest with you, almost after every bite, because this is what will happen. A fish will come up and bite this, and they won't get hooked. And your fly is going to get like this in the water, right? All tangled up. The hook is embedded in the threads, right? And that's not going to hook up anything, and that shape of that bait in the water isn't going to catch any fish either. So a lot of times, you know, if you get a bite, I mean, normally striper will come back and hit it again, so give it a couple more jerks, see if they bite, and if not, you're gonna have to reel it in and brush it out, okay? And what do I mean by brush it out? So let's show you. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen me do this. So what we've got is a little dog hair brush, and we want to straighten everything out nice and straight, nice and flat, no tangles. Yes, it's gonna tear some of the threads out, but don't matter. Right, so now we've got a nice flat straight threads, nothing is damaging the hook here, and we're gonna get back to fishing. Oh, bite. So you can see the downrigger is popping off over here, which means it's on. So we're gonna pull it loose of the ball, crank down on the fish. Get ourselves out of the deeper water and slow down a little bit. All right, yeah, there's a fish on there. Head shaker. Oh yeah. He might have just come off. Nah, he's still there. Oh, there he's pulling. Oh, nice pull there. There he is, nice striper. Look at that. You guys see him right there? Let's get the net ready. Get him in the net. Alright, so this guy's hooked perfectly in the lip of the mouth. So again, got another striper here, so that's the second one today. Nice little fat guy. A-rig seems to be working. Oh, that's a fish. Oh yeah. That's a good one, dude. That's a really good one. Oh, shit. I'm screwed now. I'm gonna lose this fish. Unless he's hooked real good. Oh. Wow, what a fish that is. Alright, so this one, we managed to hook the A-rig in the net without hooking the fish, which meant we couldn't get the fish in the net. So we're lucky this guy had a real good hook set on him. Wow. He's got a couple actually. Oh, he's bleeding on my boat. Let's get him in the live well here. Got one in the gill plate. And he fucking hammered this thing. Like, look at. That thing is in there. You wanted it. That is a big one. Big fatty. Look at these fish, man. Look at these fish. That's gotta weigh 4 pounds. Zeroed out. £5, huh? You get that? 5 pounds even on that guy. 5 pound striper out of Silverwood. Not bad at all, baby. Silverwood, baby. Silverwood. Looking good. Oh, they're all over here. Oh, fish on. Yep, fish on. Another one on the A-rig, just a little guy. This one we're gonna let go. Dang it. Can't even drink my coffee drink. Catching too many fish. Another nice little guy on the A-rig. There, I'm on again, see? That's a big one. That's another meat stick right there, man. These guys are hungry and they're eating the A-rig. That's another 4 to 5 pounder right there. All right, not a bad day here at Silverwood. So we got about 15 pounds of fish right here between these three. This one's 5 pounds, this one's 5 pounds, and then this one's 4 pounds. They're super fat fish here. You can see their bellies are just gorged, and these make really good table fare. So not a bad day. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video today. You know, everything I caught was on the A-rig with the Kitech Easy Shiners on it. I was fishing it on the Downrigger about 25 feet with the ball, probably a little bit deeper with the A-rig sinking below the ball. So we're probably fishing anywhere between 30 to 35 feet. And it was just a matter of finding the fish and trolling back and forth through them over and over again. And we did pretty good. So probably caught about 10 fish total on the day. You know, only kept a couple of them. We released a whole bunch of the smaller ones, but makes really good eating. So we're gonna take some home. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. I'm gonna link a couple other videos of fly coring and striper fishing up here and here. So check those out as well. Hopefully they're helpful to you guys, and you know, we look forward to seeing you on the next episode here. So have a good day.